Perfect. All right. Hi everybody. Thank you, Point Arena for the invitation and for allowing me to share space with you all today. My name is Aaron Solorio. I'm a recruitment counselor at Sonoma State University. A little bit about myself. I'm born and raised in Sonoma County. I attended high school in the Lona Park area and graduated from Santa Rosa Junior College in 2019. And I'm a recent graduate from UC Berkeley. Um, and before I get into speaking about Sonoma State University, similar to my colleague, I'm gonna give you a little overview of what the California State University system is. So the California State University, also known as CSU, um, it's the nation's largest four-year public university with 23 campuses. One second. And as you can see on the map right here, we have CSUs ranging from up north to Humboldt State University, all the way down south to San Diego State University. Looking at this map, wherever you really decide to go, whether it's CSU, community college, or a UC, just know that you do have options. And you do have to do a little bit of research to know and identify what university is the right fit for you. So the CSU system educates around 480,000 students every year. And it's one of the most ethnically, economically, and academically diverse student body in the nation. 89% of our students, our first-time students, come from the California public high schools, and nearly 1/3 of undergraduates are the first in their families to attend college. So shout out to any of my first generation students. I'm a first generation student myself. Now that you know about the different campuses that are, throughout the California, you might wonder, what can I study at a CSU? Well, this is where you're going to have to do a little bit of research as well, because each campus may have different schools, and within those schools, they may have different majors. What you see listed here on the screen are the schools and the majors that Sonoma State University offers. So we have the School of Arts and Humanities, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Science and Technology, School of Business and Economics, and the School of Education. Now, like I said, this is representative of the majors that Sonoma State has. Different CSUs throughout California may have a different majors. So if there's something that, a specific major that you're looking into and Sonoma State doesn't have it, I encourage you to look into other CSUs that may have it. Now moving forward, now impacted majors. For those that don't know what impacted majors is, it's essentially what it is. It's there's specific programs in the CSUs that have more students that are applying to those specific programs than there is seats available. At Sonoma State University, you can see that the impacted majors we have is biology, pre-business, communications, criminology and criminal justice, early childhood studies, kinesiology, liberal studies, pre-nursing, psychology, and sociology. Shout out to anybody pursuing sociology. I'm a sociology major myself, so if you have any questions about sociology, feel free to ask away. And one thing I do want to bring to your attention is that these universities over here that are under academic program impaction, those universities are going to require you to have a certain GPA to be able to apply to their campus. It doesn't matter what major you're pursuing. And I guess I should backtrack a little bit and mention that what impacted majors do have not necessarily a higher requirement, but there is certain requirements that you have to meet. And those requirements really depend by major. And they mostly consist of just having a certain GPA, along with, just making sure that you're meeting the academic standard. For these academic program impactation universities, all of their majors are going to require a certain GPA. So it's really up to you to do your research on those respective universities and your respective major to see if you meet the GPA requirement and any additional requirements that they will need. Now, you know about the different CSU campuses in California, and like some of the majors that you can pursue. Now, if you're wondering, what do I need to do to really be able to apply to attend a CSU? Well, here's a general overview. One, you need to be a high school graduate. You need to meet your A through G requirements with a grade of C, or a C minus or better. So that's about a 2.5 GPA. And those A through G requirements are what Donna showed earlier today with all those pretty much the required classes that you need to take as a high school student. If you're not sure if you're meeting those requirements, definitely meet with your counselor just to see that you're on track to graduate, and more importantly, be able to transfer to a CSU or a UC. In addition for that, so I guess it's good to note that this academic year, the 2021-2022 academic year, the CSU is temporarily suspending the ACT and the SAT. So they will not be requiring those tests, and they will not be utilized to determine if you're it won't impact your admissions. For the first year multi-factor scoring system, this only applies for students that have a GPA between a 2.0 and a 2.49. And the way that the system works is, you're still able to apply if you have a 2.0 between a 2.0 and a 2.49. And what the system does is that it allows our admissions team to, I guess, to give you more points if there's certain factors associated to I guess to your lived experience or to your academic journey. So things they might take into consideration is if you're low income, if you're first generation, if you're involved in extracurricular activities, or heavily involved in your community. So if you do fall between a 2.0 and a 2.49, don't feel discouraged. You can still apply. And like in your case, if you do fall within those margins, the admissions team will use that multi-factor scoring system. And in addition, you want to make sure that you're meeting the impacted major requirements. All of that information can be found in each respective CSU website. And then, for example, if you're looking into biology, for example, they might have a GPA requirement of a 3.0 or a 3.5. So you really want to get familiar with what major you're looking into and the requirements associated with it. Now, steps that you're going to need to take to enroll or to really apply. And these are important deadlines to keep in mind. The CSU application opens up on October 1st. And I want you to notice the asterisk on December 15th. Normally, the CSU application is due on November 30th. And I was actually just let know earlier today that specific CSUs are going to be extending the deadline to December 15th. SSU is one of them. However, all those universities that I mentioned earlier that are impacted, all of their deadlines are going to be November 30th. In addition to that, if you're looking into a major that is impacted, all of those applications are also going to be due on November 30th. So just know that SSU, if you're applying for a non-impacted major, that deadline will be December 15th. And Donna, I can send you more information about this so you can have it on hand as well. And the way that you apply to a CSU is through the Cal State Apply system. So you're going to go through it on October 1st. You're going to create your account and you're going to fill in all the necessary information. In addition, I want to let you know as well that there is an SSU scholarship that is due on February 1st. So keep that date in mind. And like mentioned earlier, you're going to also want to apply to FAFSA or the California Dream Act if you are undocumented. And those applications, like mentioned earlier, are due March 2nd. And for admission decision, it really ranges from December to March. In April, we'll have our Seawolf decision day, and you're gonna want to finalize admissions and housing via your SSU portal by May 1st. And final transcripts are gonna do July 10th. I know as a high school student, I really didn't communicate via email, but I do want to encourage you all, if you are applying to UCs or CSUs or even community college, that we do rely heavily on emails. So you want to make sure that you constantly check your emails, and if possible, use a personal email and not a high school email, because those might be deactivated once you graduate. So now that I gave you that information, I'm gonna talk a little bit about SSU and kind of the things that we have to offer you. So we were established in 1961. We're located in Ramona Park, California, and we are one of the smaller CSUs within the 23 campuses. Our student population is about 8,000 students, and our mascot is a mythical creature, the sea wolf. We do have we're ranked #1 for 2-year graduation rate for transfers, and we're ranked #4 for freshmen when it comes to their 4-year graduation rate. According to grad reports, we do have the #1 nursing program, and we're ranked #3 for the most amazing campus arts center. In addition, we're #14th in top public schools in the West, according to US News. For student to faculty ratio, we have a 23-1 with an average class size of 25 to 29. As one of my colleagues says, we have that private university vibe, but with the public university price. Now, campus housing, if this is something that you are considering, we have 6 residential villages with suite and apartment styles. And one thing that I like about SSU housing is that we have living learning communities. Essentially what that is a community of first-year students and transfers if they're transfer students. But it's an opportunity for you to really get acclimated to the on-campus environment, to start building your community, and to really start taking advantage of everything that SSU has to offer on campus. First-time freshmen and transfers do get guaranteed housing, and about 90% of the first-year students do live on campus. We, like mentioned earlier, you saw the majors that SSU has, but we have about more than 45 majors with more than 70 distinct concentrations. For any students that are considering grad school after graduation, we do have undergraduate research. I know grad schools love to see undergraduate research on their application, so that is an option for you. And we have more than 64 study abroad programs on 6 different continents. As an undergrad, I didn't have the capacity to do study abroad, but I know a lot of my peers and mentors always encourage me to do so. So I encourage you to do the same and really take advantage of the opportunity. This is one of my favorite things that I like about every university, and that I encourage you to do a little bit of research too to get familiar with, which is the campus resources. At SSU, we do have academic advising, which is unique too, because depending on your major, each major does have a certain advisor that can kind of guide you to really, identify what classes you need to take for your upcoming semesters. We also have a one-on-one pre-admission advising, along with the Center for Transfer and Transition Programs for transfer students. We have a Dream Center for our undocumented students, and the Educational Opportunity Program, also known as EOP. We have the Hub Cultural Center and the Learning Academic Resource Center, also known as LARC. And LARC is really like a tutorial center for students to utilize on campus, and it's located in our library. Puerta is specifically focused for Latinx students that have ambitions on being future teachers. And we have Seawolf Scholars as well, which is for current and foster youth. We do have an SSU food pantry, so if you want free food, you're welcome to utilize that service as well. And one of my favorite things that I used, although wasn't a Sonoma State University student, but whenever I was in town, I would always be at their library. One thing that I admire about it is that it's 3 stories, and as the higher the story, the quieter the room. So you can really choose and decide what a room is gonna best fit your studying environment. And last but not least, I just encourage you all to stay connected. Feel free to give us a call, send us an email. If you have any questions, once you start your application, just a reminder, October 1st, that's when it opens up. I encourage everybody to start once it opens up, and work on it often, because it can be time consuming. Here's the contact information for Office of Admissions. Once you've been accepted, this is probably the office that you're going to be having the most communication with. And also, just to stay up to date with any updates on COVID-19, currently we were able to have in-person classes. But it's 50-50. We do have some students present on campus, and the rest of the classes are offered remotely. But yeah, this concludes my presentation. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat.
Thank you, Aaron. That was a great presentation.